What is up, you guys? Welcome back to the channel. I want to start off doing something new from here and obviously into the future. And I think I'm going to start doing some Tech Tuesdays and teach you guys a little bit about some different tooling that you guys can use. Maybe that you are familiar with, maybe you're not familiar with. You know, the goal here is to make better fabricators out here, you know. Obviously, I can't give you all the secrets, and I can't, you know, do the work for you, or it's not going to look exactly like how I do it. But I can at least set you guys in the right direction with the right tooling that you're going to need to be able to do some of this work. I just got an order in from Benchmark. I got it in last week, and I haven't had time. As you can see, we got the OBS in here. We got the 67 step side in here. I just finished the 63 Impala. I'll put a link to my videos and my shorts in my bio on all the work we did on that Impala. Got a lot of content coming up for the OBS and a lot of content for the step side, but that's all another video, guys. Today specifically, I just want to talk abrasives. So like I said, I got an order in from Benchmark Abrasives, and I'm going to start showing you guys some of the stuff that I got. So let's start off with flap discs, guys. These are the ceramic version. Let me show you what the zirconias look like. So guys, a couple of different options here. First off, let me tell you guys about a sale. I posted some other videos, but these are the Type 29 zirconia discs. The code for these on Benchmark's website is FREEMIX, FREEMIX, to get these free in your order. These are Type 29s, so they're going to be curved. Obviously, it's a little hard to tell in the wrapper. Let me go ahead and pull one out for you guys. So let me bring you into the camera here. With a Type 29, you can see that it's curved just a little bit. So these are 120 grit, and then I've got some 40 grit over here. These are obviously a lot more coarse. They're going to take material a lot quicker. 120 you typically want to use to do a little bit of finish work, get all your rough scratches out, and then from there you would DA. So these are the zirconia. These work great on non-ferrous metals, and they really do a good job. The next ones would be Type 27s, and these are zirconia as well. And let me show you Type 27s. They have no radius, guys. They're all flat. So these are the 4.5 inch ones, guys. They make a couple different types, but this came in a order a while back. I just haven't used them. These are kind of my go-to, but I wanted to try something a little different. So what I got, these are the ceramics, and these are in 60 grit as well as 30 grit. They come in 5-packs, and overall, ceramic's been proven to work a lot better and last a lot longer. So I kind of wanted to make the switch. I'm already using ceramic fiber discs, so I wanted to go ahead and try flaps and see if they last a lot longer. These are available on Benchmark's website. So the next thing I want to show you guys is, oh, and actually while I'm at it, you know, again, the grit is going to depend on how much material you want to take. A 36 grit would do really good for knocking down welds, MIG welds that you just did, and you're working in a flat area. You can use these on the edges. It's not recommended because you're going to burn through these really quick if you do so. This is primarily for grinding down a flat area where you did a butt weld somewhere, something like that. that's where these perform the best. All right, let's see. Another set of flap discs, guys. These bad boys are the purple stripper discs. They come in a 5-pack as well. These are for a 4.5-inch angle grinder. And let me tell you guys, I've already used these. I got a couple of them in my last order. I wanted to try them out before I went ahead and picked up a bunch of them. These are really going to do great at knocking down paint, bodywork, all that. You know, it's a surface conditioning pad. So what its job is to get through all the paint, rubber, all that junk that's on the car getting prior to do your metal work. This is your surface prep. They work fantastic. They last a good bit. I did the whole firewall on the Impala with one of these. So they really do perform very well. Let's see, what do I got next? Next, guys, I'll show you. I'll kind of stick with like items so that way you guys get an idea. These are the mini stripper discs for a roll-up grinder, guys, or for an angle grinder. This is a 3-inch stripper disc. It's got the quick change on it. These things work killer as well. Great for tighter areas where a 4.5-inch, here's an example for you guys, the difference in size. So with these, you're going to be able to get into a lot tighter area. They're probably going to spin at about the same speed, depending on what angle grinder you have and what pneumatic air grinder, the angle grinder that you have. So multiple options. I like having a variety, being able to work with air, being able to work with an electric grinder. So that's why I got these. I think they work fantastic. I've used a bunch already. This came in a 10-pack, and you can see I have 6 left. So I used them quite a bit on the Impala. It did a phenomenal job tearing stuff down and getting a lot of scratch marks too. You can use this as like a surface prep after you've done some welding, but I have some other stuff that I'll show you guys that's going to work a little bit better. Let's see, what else do I got here? I'll show you what I use now that actually worked a lot better. These are the 3-inch quick change for an angle grinder, pneumatic angle grinder, die grinder, whatever you want to call it. And these guys work pretty darn good. These do a really good job of getting the scratches out after you've done like 36, then went to 60 or 80 grit, and then 120. These do really good at getting the final bit of grinding out before you DA and spray or whatever, you primer, cover it with some paint. So these come in a box as well, and I believe these are 25 in a box. So really good. They also make them in red, tan, blue, and obviously the colors, the different colors signify a different coarse or finer grit to how they work. The next thing I got for you guys is mini flap discs. So I primarily use a fiber disc, and I'll go over that in another video with you guys. Like I said, I'm going to start doing this thing every week. Hopefully every Tuesday I can drop a video for you guys. These are the ceramic, and these are 80 grit. So 3-inch roll lock, quick change, ceramic, gonna last you a little bit longer. Obviously more expensive, but I've found when it comes to ceramic versus zirconia, I get more life out of a ceramic, and another benefit is I'm sponsored by them, so it definitely helps. And I'm able to try a bunch of different stuff and help give them data, feedback on what really works and what's not working as best. So haven't tried these on a 3-inch, but I think they're going to do pretty good. These, again, are an 80 grit. This would be for knocking down some material. You can knock down welds with it. I prefer typically to go 36 grit first, and that does a great job of just really zipping down a weld. And then from there, I would usually go to an 80. So my idea is that I'm going to use a 36 grit fiber disc on an electric grinder, and then switch over to these 80s to kind of fine tune the area that I'm working in. So from there, guys, here's another. These are the quick change discs. These are a 2-inch, and these are 24 grit ceramic. Let me get you in here real quick. Look at how rough these things are. These bad boys are going to take down material very quick. I've already used a couple. I'm super satisfied with them. They knock them down, knock welds down fast. So these come in packs of 25, one bag, obviously. These are available in 24, 36, I think 40, 60, 80, 120. They have so many different options, guys. You can also get these in zirconia, obviously cheaper if you get them in zirconia, but they are not going to last as long. So that's a decision you have to make. Do you want to buy more to get the same value, or do you buy better and, you know, buy once, cry once? So let's see, what else do I got, guys? And here's let me show you an idea. I don't know if you guys know what resin fiber discs are. These are resin fiber discs. Very slim, very thin. They here's compared to a flat disc, and they usually have a backing pad on them. There's several different types. I'm not a big fan of this one. I typically use this one, which makes it a little bit easier to work with. But the main reason I switched to the resin fiber disc, guys, is price point. A box of these are, I think, somewhere around like 20 bucks for 25 of them. 5 flat discs will cost you $25, if not even more sometimes. So for me, it was price point, and eventually I just got to the point where I got really good with these. I love them. I rarely use a flat disc, but some areas, you know, a flat disc does work better than these. They're very rigid. These are pretty much for like flat areas, you know. With a fiber disc, I've gotten to the point where I'm able to, you know, round corners with that way better than I would with this. So they all have their purpose and they all have their place, guys. Let's see. I got some more coarse wire wheel. I'm not a big fan of these, but they do have their purpose and their place, and they do knock rubber, like undercoating and stuff like that, off far better than anything I've ever used. So you could use the stripper discs, the purple ones I showed you guys. These, you could use these to get undercoating off, but you're going to ruin these a lot faster than you will with this. Obviously, this takes a lot more care and consideration when using, because it is just wound up wire. They do come off, they do hurt, they stick in you, but if you're a metal fabricator, you better get used to it, because every day I pick out metal shavings, splinters, all that. So it's part of the job. I love what I do. I get to build cool stuff. A couple of scrapes and scratches and splinters is the least of my concerns. So that one's a more coarse one, guys. This one right here is going to be not as coarse. It has a lot more wires, a lot more knots. So this one's going to be a little bit less coarse, but both same thing. This is going to do really good at taking undercoating off. That's primarily why I got these, because I'm tired of messing with undercoating from cars from the factory, and I don't want to run through these when I can use these and get the job done just as quick and not use as much consumables. Next are the cool tools I want to show you guys. I'm gonna give you guys tech tips on these individually, but I'll show you what I got just so you guys can get an idea. So I'll start with the biggest. Usually you start with the smallest first, I guess, but I'm going big. Sorry guys, this one's a pain. I already tried to take it out. I don't want to drop it because it is very expensive. So guys, these are tungsten carbide tipped hole cutters. Let me zoom back in for you, walk right back in. This bad boy is amazing. This is the 3-inch, I believe. Yeah. This is a 3-inch hole cutter. My primary goal for this hole cutter is going to be cutting exhaust, cut throughs on body panels, chassis rails, anything like that. I think that this is going to work perfect. This is the biggest one they make. So, you know, typically if I was doing a 3-inch exhaust, obviously I need a little more space than 3 inches to go through a 3-inch hole. But this gets me there a lot faster than any other tool is gonna. So hole saws are great. Again, a hole saw has many purposes. These things are the fastest I've found to use. I love them. I'll never go back. Like I said, they are expensive. I think this one is like $119 for just a singular one. The pilot bits are replaceable, the pilot bit and the spring. And then obviously you can replace these. They're just a little bit more expensive. So that's the 3-inch one, guys. Like I said, let me box it back up. All right. Then we got a 2 1/4, guys. The 2 1/4 I'm going to use primarily for I'm drawing a blank here. Let me see. The 2 1/4 is going to work good for steering column holes, master cylinder holes, any of that stuff. That's primarily why I got this one. So let's see, what's next? Same thing, same function. Tungsten carbide tipped. They're going to last longer. They're going to cut through faster. I got a 2-inch. Some of these I got for a specific purpose. I can't remember off the top of my head. When we get into the video, I'll get a little more prepared and I'll figure out which one's which. But primarily, I'm going to be using most of these for C10s or first and second generation Novas. The 62, 67, that's primarily what I work on. So I wanted to get some hole cutters that are going to get the job done quick. I think this is actually master cylinder, and the 2 1/4 was steering column for C10s. So I did get all of these for a purpose. I got a 1 3/4 as well. Same thing, tungsten carbide tip. They all come with pilot bits, which the cool thing about this is if I break one of these pilot bits, it tends to happen sometimes when you're going through thick material. I can just pull the pilot bit off of another one. And not only that, in this handy dandy bag, I got an extra pilot bit just for that reason. I do have a lot of experience with these. When I came from the architectural side and ornamental ironwork, we use these a lot to drill door bolts, jams, and all that. So we would use these to set the locks and stuff like that. So they work really good, and we did some pretty heavy doors. So Pardon me. I know they will cut, you know, 1/4 inch and below. So it's a good idea. And I don't really typically work with stuff that's like 3/8, 1/2 inch thick. It's just not really what I do here. And then I also got a 3/4. That's going to be, I think I just got the 3/4 for if I'm doing some sort of panel that needs holes cut out. I could do a 3/4, and that's going to be like bulkheads, stuff like that. Let's see. Let me put these back. I got a tungsten step bit, guys. This step bit goes, I believe, all the way from, I think that's 1/4 inch, all the way up to 1 inch. So this thing's going to be killer. Excited to try this. Step bits are a huge problem for me. They burn out. They're just, most of them are junk. So I really think this is going to be the one. When I got their drill bits a while back, I didn't really know what to expect, but their drill bits have exceeded my expectations. I've run them through the ringer. I've used them with no oil, and they've all survived. I think I have maybe 1 or 2 that are broken, but it's definitely from misuse. It's not because it's a cheap product. So got all those. You get an Allen wrench, so now I'll have 100,000 of these with every TCT cutter. Then I got some deburr bits, guys. So one is the round head, and one is a round one, a cylinder one. So let me zoom in there. Pretty cool. The round head I had to replace because I don't know what happened, but I ended up bending the shaft on it. I was doing some pretty gnarly work, and it started spinning weird. And then I've had a cylinder one forever, and it just was time to get a new one. It was slacking. So I do have a case for these, so I'll go ahead and put these in the case when I get done. Benchmark sells the case as well, so you guys can get yourself some protection for these guys. These are a little expensive too, so you definitely want to think about getting the case if you guys are going to get these. Let's see, what else do I got here? Oh, last but not least, I try to get them with every order that I put in, just because I use them so much, guys. Give me 1 second. Scrub nuts, hand surface and tool wipes. This one has 110 of them. I don't know if the code is still active, but if you use the code FREENUTZ, FREENUTZ, you'll get the smaller version of this. Let me grab it for you. 1 second, guys. I'll get out the free mix, the FREENUTZ pack. So if you use that code that I just told you guys, I'll also put it in the bottom of the video below. You'll get the smaller version, which is 25 wipes. You'll get the hand cleaner, which I have the big jug of, but this is a little handy one. This is like waterless, guys. You could literally squirt it in your hands, wipe your hands together, and then wipe it off with a towel. I use water with mine just because it is a little rough, and I don't want to have, like, it almost feels like you're playing at the beach when you use this stuff. So then you also get a sample wipe with the code. So if you guys haven't used the code, take advantage of it, use it. If you guys have, obviously you guys got to buy the stuff. No double freebies. You only get one. So like I said, I'll get into more in-depth videos with you guys on how all this stuff works and what you should be using. But this is a good idea. I gave you a good starter on what products I use to do the metal finishing I do. And if you guys go through my channel, you guys go through my Instagram or my TikTok, you guys can see the kind of quality of metal finishing that I do. And I wouldn't be able to do it without Benchmark, guys. So definitely make sure you guys head over to their website, their Instagram, all that. Show them some love. They have phenomenal products, and they're Arizona local. They're up in Prescott, so that's super killer. They're about an hour and a half north of me, and so that's definitely supporting local. And I love them, guys. I found a great company to work with, and they give me everything I need. So if you guys have any questions, comments, concerns, put them down in the comments. I'll answer them. Make sure you guys use those codes. Go grab some abrasives, and yeah, I'll be back to you guys with a video on the OBS probably in the next couple of days, and then I'll have some content on the C10 for you guys here soon. So make sure to like, follow, subscribe, share it with your mom, share it with your dad, share it with your sister, and I'll see you guys soon.